A very good evening, ladies and gentlemen, dear friends. Thank you for joining in to the chapter 15th of Destination Talk. And we are super excited to bring Iceland as a destination to discuss with all of you. And today things are going to be a bit different. So we start as always at 5:35. So just wait for 2 more minutes and then we are all set to understand, learn, explore, and see some superb video of Iceland. Thank you. Today we are going to take a different take on the destination. Always we are discussing destinations with the destination experts. Of course, we do have a destination expert with us, but today we also have a travel enthusiast because I personally believe that whatsoever a person's desires, dream, or hobbies are, traveling is one of them. And to perceive your dream as a passion, as a profession, is altogether a different scenario. Today we have our guest, Miss Rupali and Mr. Jay Gosar. They are not travel agents, they are not into tourism, but they are very much into tourism, and they have a different perspective to their own thing. So always interested in adventure tourism. Jay is a mechanical engineer and Rupali is lawyer by profession. They started exploring the unexplored or less explored places and promoting such places to their friends and family. Budget travel and adventure has been always their prime focus while designing the trips. They have been married for 7 years. Some of the places visited by Rupali and Jay are Iceland, Vietnam, Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, Kyrgyzstan, Kazakhstan. Apart from this, both Jay and Rupali are great at trekking. They have started a new concept in trekking where just the two of them hire a local porter and guide and go for the treks. They have trekked from Ladakh to Himachal, Chadar Trek, Fugtal Monastery, Kedar Kantak, and many more. So today we have a travel enthusiast, Mr. and Mrs. Gosar, as our guest. Let's move ahead. I'm sure that we all have got a wonderful insight of the destination from Jay and Rupali and also from Alps Voyages. However, we are not yet done. There are things which are pending. So, first of all, we all are travel professionals and we all travel to different nation in this season of April, May, and June. But the only nation that we all are traveling to during this lockdown is imagination. And through our imagination, these three people today, Jay and Rupali, and also Viral, they have taken us through Iceland. And I'm sure that everyone who is there today on this webinar, on this seminar, it was a superb rocking tour of Iceland that we all did. But this is not just over. We are up for a candid talk with our power couple, Jay and Rupali. So, Jay and Rupali, we would like to understand certain things from you. Like, first of all, you are a mechanical engineer, Rupali, you are a lawyer. So, from your professional careers, how did you guys get into being a traveler and also managing the Unmapped Trails Instagram page?
So we have always been into adventure. We love traveling. It started like many years back. Jay has been also a trek leader with India Hikes. So he also is into a lot of travel and trekking and all.
Basically, actually, our adventure journey started with our honeymoon. So that was one of the most adventurous trip we had because it was all unplanned and we had been to Thailand and there also skipping all the normal activities. We just tried to do climbing, kayaking, rafting, and all those stuff. So that's how it started, and then it intensified as and when we started going for treks. So as I mentioned, we started doing treks where just two of us, we hire a local porter and a mule or a cook or guide, and we just go in mountains for 6 7 days. So that's how it got even more intensified. And then we realized that the concrete jungles will always be there. We need to first explore the nature till the time we are all young. So we started picking up the destinations where it requires more of physical activities or walking, or and the prime concern always we had was not visiting the only to do places which are most of the people nowadays want to go to places which are just like iconic, and you want to have a photograph of yourself over there. So keeping aside those places, our more focus was to travel to unexplored places, and that's how the page came up, the name Unmapped Trails.
Yep, thank you. That's great. Well, not many of our participants they also know, but I would like to share one more thing. I am also an engineer, so I'm also a computer engineer by qualification. And after completing my engineering in 2012, 2013 only I joined Thomas Cook, and then there is no looking back. It is all travel, travel, and travel. Also, Jay and Rupali, we would like to understand that when any person, like there are so many travel agents here, there are so many travel enthusiasts here, and there are so many clients also on this webinar. Whenever anyone wants to plan a backpacking trip, or I can say an unmapped trip, what are the basic things which everyone or anyone should consider? Like, tell us something about your research while planning for a destination like Iceland. So normally we have been planning short haul destinations, but planning for Iceland, it requires lots and lots of research. So how did you do that, and what was the involvement?
Yeah, so the first and foremost thing was to understand where you are going, what is the time you want to go, and why you want to go there, and what you want to see. So we started mapping down all the places that were the like we found it to be really picturesque, and we want to go there in Iceland. Based on those places, how far they are, how much time will be required to drive every day to reach those places, we started reverse calculating the number of hours per day we would drive and number of hours we would want to spend at that place. And that's how we arrived at number of days that we require for the country. Once you had decided that okay, this trip can be done in 9 days, we have to keep some buffer when we go to these countries. So we also started reading a lot of blogs on how winds can go crazy in Iceland. So actually we were supposed to reach to a destination, but the winds were like around 110 kilometers per hour. It was so strong that we could not hold the doors of our car by like for two people trying to close it. And as said by my colleague that the winds can go really horrible, so we had to just park our cars there and spend the entire night there. So we have to keep some buffer again. So because we are backpacking and we are traveling, we have to also think about the cost factor. So we started looking out for the flights, and as I said, there is no direct flight to Iceland. So we started looking out at what is the cheapest destination that we can reach in Europe. And at the same time, because it was our first European travel, we also wanted to be sure that we get the visa. So we decided to choose France because getting France visa was quite easy as we were going in the group, and also the flights that were, so we did a split journey. So we booked tickets from Bombay to Paris, and so Bombay, Paris, Bombay was the flights that we booked. So while booking this ticket, we started looking for all the options, and we waited for a while till the time there was a airline sale. So we could get a Qatar Airways flight ticket for Bombay, Paris, Bombay in 28,000.
Wow.
So that was one big cost that we saved. Bombay, Reykjavik, Bombay flight tickets were coming to around 62,000. So we decided, okay, now we have done Bombay, Paris, Bombay. So then we decided to see Paris, Reykjavik. Paris, Reykjavik was coming to around 3,000, which is again like very cheap. So we come to 31. While coming back, we decided, okay, so Reykjavik, Paris was expensive, whereas Reykjavik, Amsterdam was cheap. So we decided, okay, let us select one more city, and we are saving the cost in the flights. So we did Reykjavik, Amsterdam, where we could get again it for 3,500. And from Amsterdam, we took a TGV and we came back to Paris, and then we flew back. So we did Paris along with Iceland, we did Amsterdam along with Iceland, and we saved around 20,000 on flight. And then that's how, so as I said, if you are a family or a group of people together, then cottages are more suggested than going for a hotel, because You have your own time.
Also, Airbnbs are really good there.
Amazing properties
Yeah.
you would get. Food is very expensive, so I'll be very open that we had carried dehydrated food for like 16 days of our trip, because the food one time meal would nowhere around cost you less than 3,000 rupees per person. So food is very expensive. So we had issue with food. So we had carried dehydrated food for 16 days.
Okay.
So that's how like you start doing micromanagements, and then you keep on understanding, where you fit in. So this 17 days trip, we could manage to finish. We could manage to do it in 1,40,000. With that includes car rentals, all the activities, flights, everything.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you very much. Dear friends, I will request you all to please put down your questions or queries in the chat box. I will personally take each one of them, and Jay and Rupali will be happily answer them to solve your doubts and queries about Iceland. Moving on to one next question, which I would like to understand. Jay, how do you feel that is Iceland a very safe country for a solo travel?
Uh, for a solo travel, actually, the Iceland is so sparsely populated, you don't find people. So, for a solo traveler, it becomes really very difficult. Also, the local transport is not
Great.
great.
So
So,
you don't have public transport in Iceland. So either
except
you
for
have to, if you want to
bridges.
travel between cities, you have to wait for the seat in coach, and the coaches are really expensive.
Hmm.
So either if you are two, and if you want to do a self-drive tour, you decide to take a smaller car, or you plan to have 4 people where you can have a bigger car and you can travel that way. But yeah, solo can sometimes become a little bit more expensive.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have got a question being asked by Mr. Anish. How challenging is it to manage veg meals, especially if traveling as FIT? FIT means a chota sa group or a family, a free independent travel or free individual travel. Like we have a couple going, like you went there, you are an FIT. I believe Mr. and Mrs. Gosar are vegetarian. Kindly share your experience on this.
Yeah, so again, like just to give you an insight, vegetarian is always a challenging task to find like pure veg food. So there are Indian restaurants in Iceland. In some cities you have Indian restaurants. Apart from that, in most of the places they use fish oil, or you will have the traces of the non-vegetarian aromas that you will, even if you try to order veg food. It is not difficult, but as I said, the restaurants are super expensive. So just to give you a small figure, we had ordered French fries in one of the restaurants. That's the only restaurant where we went, and we ordered one plate French fries was around 1,500 Indian rupees. So that's the cost of French fries. I would recommend, if you are going for a small, so every Airbnb has got all the cooking equipments, and the kitchen is very well equipped. So if you are trying to save on money, or if you are want to be sure that you want to have home cooked food, you carry some packets of dehydrated food and try to eat in the restaurants where you have Indian restaurants, and the places or the remote places where you don't have this facility, you try to cook and have your own food.
Yeah. Okay. The next question is coming in from Miss Madhurima. Are the northern lights visible from any part of the country, or you have to travel to darker areas, as in away from the city?
Yes. So as my colleague was talking, it got the concept was so Iceland has got such amazing administrative system. They have this app called as Vedur. So this Vedur app is a must download app that everybody should note down. When you go to Iceland, you have to download this app. It is a lifesaver because it tracks your GPS and it keeps on telling you about the next 1 hour where you are going to travel, what are going to be the wind speeds, what are going to be the rains, is it safe to go there, is it not safe to travel in that direction. It will keep on telling you everything. So this is one app you need to have. The second app is the KP Index app,
which is especially for northern
which is
lights.
specially for northern lights. So it tracks the location and it tells you what is the KP index from 0 to 9. And also the weather app gives you the clarity of whether the sky is clear or is it going to rain. So when you merge these two apps, you can easily understand if the KP index is above 5.5 or 6. You have 100, and the Vedur app says that the sky is going to be clear, then you have 100% chances of seeing northern lights through your naked eyes. So if you go to our presentation, there was one photo which was clicked where we could only see white clouds because the KP index was there, the sky was clear, but the KP index was low. So when captured in DSLR, we could see the green lights. But the other day when we were at a place called as ISAF Jadur, from there we had traveled to this place called as Pateri where we had our BNB. So there the KP index was 7.2 and the sky was clear. So we could see the northern light through our naked eyes. So it was so prominent that it started from green, then we could see the bands of pink, purple, yellow. And after 6 hours, we got bored and we went inside and slept.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you for that insight. We have one question from Miss Smita. Ma'am wants to know, when was your trip, which year?
Yeah, so again, so we did our trip in 2016. So as I was telling that it was 1 year research of 1 year. Not many people know that Northern Lights generally work on a cycle of 11 years.
Okay.
So there is a waveform that it goes up and then it goes down. So 2016 was the most prominent year where you could have maximum sightings because it also works on the solar cycle. So now there is a downfall, but the next highest peak would be again in 2025. So this research we had done in 2015 only. That's the reason we decided that 2016 is the year we want to go, because that's the time when the probability of sighting northern lights is the highest. That does not mean that you will not be able to sight northern lights, but the chances may go less. So we did our trip in 2016 and we chose October. So we were in Iceland from 16th to 27th October, where the first half of our trip was green. We could see the green part of Iceland. In the second part of the trip, we saw northern lights, and the last 2 days we saw the snowfall and we saw Iceland white while we departed from Iceland. So we could see all the three seasons in one this thing.
Super. Jay, I would just request you to type the name of both the apps which you mentioned. Mr. Jayant, he has asked to type the name of both the apps on the chat box. Meanwhile, we have more questions coming up, but well, some things of the destination talk today. Friends, Veggie Wanderer is the name of my YouTube channel. Till now, we have uploaded one destination talk and two tourism talk over there. And also very soon I'm coming up with some destination videos. So I will request you all to please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Sanket Shah is the name of the YouTube channel, hashtag Veggie Wanderer. And we look forward to have you there also for a wonderful insight of many destinations. Also going ahead, I am planning to do Dubai as a destination talk because as per my latest update uh, with my friends in Dubai, Dubai is all set to reopen. It is actually reopened, and it will be the first destination near to India which will pick up once things start getting back to normal. And we are expecting things to get back to normal, say by October, November, which is Diwali time. Of course, people will not be willing to travel as earlier, but whenever it happens, Dubai is our first home away from home. So I'm looking forward to it with an update and the videos of how Dubai is combating coronavirus and to make it coronavirus free. So please join me for that destination talk as well. And we will have a DMC friend joining in either from Mumbai or from Dubai, the same company. So now going on to the next question, we have from Mr. Chinmay, what kind of wildlife you get to experience in Iceland? Wildlife.
So Icelandic horses are a very, peculiar kind of horses which are found there. They are a lot furry than the normal horses. Also, there are Arctic foxes that you can spot. There are sheeps which are also really furry again.
Whales.
Then whales. Yeah.
Seals. If you go to the eastern side, the east fjords, you can also sight seals and the birds that
No, puffin birds.
puffin birds. But
Yeah.
puffin has got a season.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then there are seagulls, goats also. Reindeer is a very uh, animal, a very
Yeah,
peculiar animal
and the
there.
cuisine is also there. So
Yeah,
they have
reindeer
reindeer
meat
meat is
is
also very
also,
very famous there.
yeah.
Okay. And now one very typical question coming in. Are there any famous shopping places?
Yeah, there are good shopping. Iceland is very expensive if you want to buy woolen clothes from Iceland or typical Icelandic this thing. But
Icelandic sweaters are very
very
famous
famous.
there.
They are very great, but they are very expensive. But so whenever you go to shopping malls or the supermarkets, you can do a lot of shopping. So just to give you an example, we bought 25 Victoria's Secret body mists and perfumes from one of the supermarket we had gone to just buy fruits, because the on that day they had a discount of around 75% on Victoria's Secret. So our one bag was only full of perfumes that we had never intended to buy. Also, the chocolates, if you buy from the Icelandic supermarkets, they are really amazing. Icelandic chocolates are really good and they are very cheap. So you may want to really have good chocolates when you bring back. Icelandic vodkas are very good. So if you want to give small souvenirs of vodkas, you can get those back.
Also, while shopping, always ask the vendor for a VAT form, because when you're
Yeah.
returning back at the airport, you can always submit this form and get that money back of the tax which is paid.
Yeah.
So that's a very nice thing which Icelandic government has done.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Mr. Harshit wants to know overall, how would you rate your trip to Iceland on a scale of 10?
10 on
Uh,
10 definitely.
yeah, it would be, if not 10 on 10, yes, there were a few things that we could have done more. At least 8.5.
Okay. So you did a self-drive tour to Iceland. It is a left-hand drive, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Awesome.
So
And
initially we had really problems understanding what is happening. So they don't have, as I said, it is the population is so less, they don't have traffic police there. But so they have speed sensors, and there is a big LED screen where you get smileys. So the first day while we were driving in Iceland, we every screen we were getting a frowning smiley. So we were just talking, ये क्या है मतलब ये
We were
इतना
not
गुस्सा क्यों आ रहा है? And
understanding.
the to understand we used to slow down, and the second car used to get a smiley because he was under speed, and then we realized, oh, we are driving fast, that's the reason we are getting this smiley. So
Frowning.
we traveled in October 2016, and we got two over speeding tickets in 2017 March,
okay.
and the two tickets were in the interval of 20 minutes, and the cost coming to Indian rupee was around 66,000.
I have the same experience. Of course, not the ticket, but the driving circumstances when I did my first solo road trip in United States in this October. So same things, same things. That frowning smileys are there in United States also. Anyways, so do we have any more questions? If so, please put it across on the group chat, and we will be more than happy to answer. Also, I have posted one message in the group chat giving the YouTube link of my channel, and also three link for the three topic. Two are tourism talk, one is destination talk. Of course, this topic will also be going to YouTube, but after some editing and uh, post recording scenes, so that will happen. Also, one more thing, dear friends, as this was our first attempt on bringing travel enthusiasts onto the talk show to understand lively, like how and what it feels to be on a trip as a traveler, we would like to understand your feedback. Now, feedback is really very important. I will just request 2 to 3 minutes of yours, not now. I will send a feedback form link on or Google form link on your email IDs, say by tonight. I request every one of you to please fill it without fail, because once we understand that what you are liking and what you are not liking, based on that we design our content. And very important, all my friends who have joined in from Maharashtra, Mumbai, and nearby areas, be very careful of the Nisarga cyclone, which is expected to hit tonight or early morning tomorrow. And good sign as of now is We are in lockdown 5.0, but we are on the verge of unlock 1.0. We all are getting back to our normal life dheere dheere. So it's a request that till the time not the things are normal, we will be continuing with the destination talk. One question I am getting in a private chat: can we ask the guest how much did the whole trip costed them per couple, suppose?
Yeah, so so what we do is right from booking our trip. So this is one thing that we have always been following on all our trips. So we will have the expense of, even if we have uh, purchased a bottle of mineral water, we will have the expense of that, and we still have saved the expense sheets of all the trips that we had had. So this trip came to around 1,40,000 per person. It was a 17 days trip where we flew from Bombay, Paris. We did Eiffel Tower. We did the Seine River cruise. Then we flew from Paris to Iceland. Iceland, we had rented 2 cars, cottages, like all around 3 star or 4 star cottages, including the food that we took from here, the dehydrated food. From Paris to Amsterdam, a lot of activities in Amsterdam. Again, Amsterdam to Paris. Paris, we did Disneyland and a lot of stuff. And coming back to India, it was 1,40,000 per person that we could manage to do.
Thank you, Jay bhai. So, guys, understand that they did this trip in 2016, and the punchline of the entire expense is your airfare, which they got at a very reasonable rate of 28,000 Bombay, Paris, Bombay, plus 30,000 of Iceland. So, considering the inflation and today's rate, I would say it will cost around 175 से 2 lakh के बीच में, somewhere around that. It should be somewhere around that, and considering that uh, they have taken the dehydrated food also because they are also veggie.
Yeah.
So we had the same problem with all our other trips also in Central Asia. We were during the time of Eid, and Central Asia, even the European non-vegetarian food eaters have a problem eating the food there. So we survived the same way there. But I would really recommend Iceland to be done. And if you are doing it, don't go for 4 5 days. Try it. If you have time and money, do it for at least 10 days. You will never forget the experience of your life.
Yep,
And self-drive always.
absolutely. And Iceland is one destination which is on the bucket list of each and every tourist as well as traveler. So I am sure that today's session has got a good glimpse of to everyone about the destination. And thank, I'm getting one message in the chat box from Mr. Ratna Kumar. We are all safe and we will take precautions in Mumbai regarding Nisarga cyclone. Thank you very much, my friend. And I'm getting one more message asking me, बोल तो ऐसे रहे हो जैसे आप बॉम्बे में नहीं हो. No friends, I am a Mumbaiker, but right now I'm not in Mumbai since March. I'm at my hometown, and all the activities are being done from Jalgaon. So I'm not in Mumbai. Anyways, friends, it was a wonderful session, and I'm sure you all loved it. If you liked it, just type yes for Y for yes or no, that is for N, in the chat box quickly so that we get the live feedback. Super. Thank you. Thank you. I will just request you all for two things. One is the feedback form, which is really very important, and the YouTube channel. So, lastly, Jay and Rupali, thank you very much for your time today and being onto the talk show of Destination Talk Chapter 15. This is the first time that our talk show has crossed 6:45 ka timeline because we got into the conversation so interestingly. And thank you for answering all the questions with so much of patience. And
Thank
I'm
you for
Thank you
having
so
us
much.
on the talk show, and it
We
was
were
our,
really
yeah,
glad, yeah, to be. And we are always, ready to answer any queries if anyone has anything. They can always leave in a message on Unmapped Trails. We'll try answering them as soon as possible.
certainly. So Unmapped Trails, I will just type for everyone. Unmapped Trails on is a
Instantly.
page on Instagram. Also, while sending the feedback form, I will send you both the presentation, this presentation which Jay and Rupali has made, and also the presentation of Alps Voyages. And I will also share YouTube link and the Instagram link with you all. So please respond to the email. Thank you very much.
Thank you everyone
Thank
for
you so much.
listening to us.
Thank you,
Thank
Saket
you.
bhai.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.